As most of you know, we just got scammed really badly. If you haven't seen the last video and you have no idea what I'm talking about, click the link down in the description and you'll hear all about this total scam. Long story short, we lost out on $4,200 because of a staged storage unit. But to really grasp it, you're gonna have to watch that last video. But anyway, we were told we would have a contact by the police department. We were also told that by the storage facility. It's now Tuesday afternoon. Guess who we've heard from? Absolutely nobody. They were probably hoping that we're just gonna brush this under the rug and forget about it, which I'm not ready to do right now, not at all. So today, we're gonna reach out to corporate at the storage facility. We're gonna talk to Storage Treasures, and I'm gonna reach out to the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, and we're gonna get this crap taken care of. So now we're gonna go ahead and give corporate a call. So let's see if they pick up and if they got something different to say, since obviously at the store level, they're pretty useless.
We'd love to hear how we did today. We'll be sending you a text to the number you are calling from with a link to a brief survey.
Thank you for calling Extra Space Storage. My name's Deborah. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Steven.
Hi, Steven. How can I help you?
So we've had a problem with an Extra Space in Maryland recently where it's kind of with the auction process, and they were supposed to, they told us they'd give us a call back on Monday and we've gotten nothing, and you know, now it's almost end of day Tuesday. So I was trying to see if I could talk to somebody higher up and address this whole auction scam that's going on right now. Not just with you guys, with a lot of other facilities too.
So let me get your account pulled up and verified. What's your unit number, or what's your phone number?
I don't rent with you guys. We're auction buyers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all of our auctions are done through storagetreasures.com.
Yeah, we know, that's what we do. But
So I'm not sure so is the issue with storagetreasures.com, or?
no, it's kind of with the policy that, when I talked to a guy from, I think it was the store in particular last week, and he told me, like, confirm what I thought, the policy to where if the auction unit sells for more than they're owed the facility, that the original renter gets the remainder of that. So what's been happening is people are just setting them up and defaulting on purpose. And that's the...
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand that, but we can't control that. But yes, if an auction does sell for more than what is owed, then yes, they do get that difference. If it sells for less than what's owed, then it goes to collection.
Right, but yeah, that's
they still owe the balance.
Yeah, that's what I confirmed with him. That's what I thought. But the problem is, like I said, how can we stop the guys that are just renting units just to put boxes, like empty? Like, we bought a unit last week for $4,200 in total, and it's like 70 empty boxes stacked up with all the pictures and all the information facing the door.
Right.
So it's like, like there's people that are renting just for that.
It happens, but again, that's not something that we have control over.
But yeah, but it just kind of seems like by doing nothing, like I told the other guy, I'm not even asking for a refund. I'm just trying to figure out why that policy's in place, because that's like just green lighting it. Or
well, I mean, that's the policy, because we only want the amount that is owed to us. So, if we have to sign for more, then we don't keep that money. So we just want what was owed. So best person to speak to if you have issues, I would, send an email to info@extraspace.com.
do they actually?
Is where I would send it, because that's not something that a store is going to have any control over, or a district manager. So I would send that inquiry to our corporate email.
Do they have a number? Because when I googled corporate, and this is the number it gave me. I guess is this just customer service?
Yeah,
or?
no, there isn't. Well, this is customer service. So,
okay.
But it sounds like you want to speak to actual corporate.
Yeah.
So to speak. So I would send the email to info@extraspace.com.
Okay,
and again, that's something that we don't necessarily have any control over.
Yeah, because it's not like a store level problem like you're saying. It's just it's that policy that's just incentivizing people to do it. All right, well.
No, I know that it happened. I actually was watching a YouTube channel that I look at and watch occasionally, and she did the same thing. She, bought a unit. Like there were a few high-end things, and then there were boxes with high-end brands, and kind of the same thing. Some of the boxes were. I mean, she actually broke even on it, but kind of the same thing. And again, that's not something that we really have control over what they put in their unit necessarily. So
yeah, that's what I mean, I'm not trying to blame the facility, but my thing is just, it just seems like if somebody at corporate, you know, could change that policy, and even if it doesn't go to the buyer, say it goes to a freaking charity, yeah, there's anybody that's just not getting it back to them, because that's, you know, that's where the abuse is happening. The loophole, I guess you'd call it, in the system is that.
Right. No, I understand. I understand that it's a little frustrating. Like I say, you know, this girl on YouTube, she was a little disappointed because she ended up breaking even. But yeah, a lot of, you know, there were some just, again, high-end empty boxes. So,
yeah, ours was nothing but that.
And then a lot of, you know, and then the back of the unit was just, you know, basically, you know, junk stuff. But
yeah, that's exactly what happened to us.
Yeah,
Except there's
I mean,
no breaking even.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I would just, you know, you know, send an email to that email, and maybe ask them, to respond to you, or, you know, with those concerns. So that's really probably the best place would be with that email.
Okay, and that, you said that is like the corporate email or somebody up there?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
What do you said?
Yeah, that's our main corporate email.
It is at info@extraspace, or?
Yes, info@extraspace.com.
Okay, all right, I'll give them a try and see if they get back to us.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, sorry that happened to you. And, all right. Well,
All right.
Thank you for calling, and I hope they have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too. Bye. Well, that was very helpful, wasn't it? Like, it's just, what's driving me more crazy about all this is, like, all the employees are well aware this is happening. Well aware. It's not just us. This is happening to lots of other people. We just happen to have a YouTube channel, so a lot of people are seeing about it. This is happening everywhere. And everybody I talk to seems to be well aware of it, but has this, oh, well, it sucks for you kind of attitude. We still get ours, so good luck, which... There's the problem. So I think next course of action is, even though Storage Treasures is kind of just, you know, the vehicle for this happening, they have literally 10, 20,000 auctions listed on there. There's no way they can go through every one and call them and tell them to open it and look at the boxes and tell if it's staged or not. But I guess I want to call and talk to them and see if they have any help or way to fix the problem. Like I said, at this point, I'm not really after the money. I'm really not. I'm after a policy change. I want it to not be a potential risk in the future. You know what I mean? So if we can even, like I said, get this money, say it sells for $2,000 over, instead of sending it back to that owner, send it to St. Jude's, send it to a children's hospital, send it to somewhere that needs it. But by them not getting the money, I think you're taking away the incentive to scam. And I really do feel like that's the only possibility on fixing the issues. Since I can't seem to get a hold of somebody in corporate through the phone, I went ahead and wrote out this email, and I want you guys to listen to it. Make sure it sounds right, because we're gonna send this to them. Hopefully this will wake somebody up. But let me read it to you. Hello, I was told to contact someone here regarding an issue with an auction policy. We recently bought an abandoned storage unit from one of your facilities located in Lexington Park, Maryland, which we believe to be totally and obviously staged. Now, I do not currently believe that it is the facility that did the staging, but instead the previous renter of the storage unit. I also want to make it clear that I am not looking for a refund from you guys, but I'm instead looking for a change in policy. That's very important to me. The money, it sucks, but if I can get this to change for the future, way bigger of a win for me than just getting the money back. I talked to both the store manager and a customer service representative and was told by both people that if a lien unit sells for above what the previous renter owes the facility, then the renter receives a check for the difference. The problem with this is it creates a loophole for people to very easily scam auction buyers by doing the following. Simply rent a storage unit for a month. Usually the first month is free or for $1. Then you stage that unit with appealing looking boxes, bags, or everything else to give off the illusion that it's full of great items. Intentionally default on the unit knowing that it will sell at auction for above what is owed to the facility, and then collect a nice fat check for the difference by simply taking advantage of a loophole. I've been told multiple times it's the buyer's risk, but this is not a risk. This is theft by deception. Buying a unit because there's a nice fridge in there and then opening the unit and seeing that the fridge is either gross or broken, that's the risk we take. But buying a unit that was intentionally set up to trick us, that's not a risk. It's being scammed. The storage unit we bought had over 60 empty boxes, with multiple boxes re-taped shut with the openings facing away from the door. The information on the boxes was also, of course, facing towards the door so that it could easily be seen by whoever's taking the pictures to post the lien unit. We are now out over $4,000 because of this. To us, there seems like a very simple solution to this. Let me know if there's a reason why this would not work. If a storage unit sells for more than the facility is owed, why can't that difference instead just be donated to a reputable charity like St. Jude's? This way, the facility gets what's owed to them so they don't lose. People in need at the hospitals get much much needed funds, and the incentive for people to purposely stage and default on units would be gone, which in turn would make it safer for us auction buyers. This seems like a very simple solution where everyone wins except for the people trying to set up these units. That is my email, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Let me know if you guys agree with me or not in the comments, but I don't see how that solution doesn't solve every single problem. I really don't. All right, so I have Storage Treasures customer service in here, and I just want to call and see if they're aware of the same thing, because I'm sure they are, and if they have any ideas on how to solve this problem, because it's just getting crazy. It really is.
Does that work? How can I help?
I'm wondering if I could talk to somebody about a issue on the people defaulting on these units on purpose that are set up, and it's getting crazy on y'all site and the other sites, and I was just wondering if, I guess somebody's aware that this is happening, and if there's something we can do or put in place to prevent this.
To prevent the invoices being defaulted or people being defaulted?
No, the people that are...
Curiosity, what's your question?
Yeah, they're renting the units, you know, for the free month or whatever the facility offers them, putting a bunch of beautiful boxes in there, default on purpose, it sells for $4,000 and they get a, you know, $3,000 check for it. It's getting crazy because it used to be like, I've been using you guys for like 5 years now. Back then, every now and then, but now it's like literally every other facility you look at has a staged unit like this, and it's getting crazy.
Right. I mean, you're the bidder or
yeah,
facility manager? Just wanted to double check.
No, we're bidders. Yeah, we've, like I said, been buying from you guys for like 5 years now, and it's just been over this last year. It's just gotten wacky.
Yeah, you're saying the auctions are being defaulted on, or the tenants are defaulting on them?
The tenants are defaulting on the units on purpose. So, because like I just got off the phone with Extra Space. I don't know how it is at the other places, but for them, whatever it sells for, the unit sells for over what they owe the facility, they get a check for that. So like we just had one where they owe the facility like $500 and it sold for $4,200, and then we get there, it's all set up empty boxes, and now the guy gets a $3,600 check because of that. And it's just...
Are those those auctions that you're looking at, are those lien auctions?
Yeah,
I mean, those have to be lien auctions, because here's the thing. I mean, there's not much we can do about that, because if the tenant doesn't continue with the unit, then it goes on for auction. Whatever the facility only takes the pictures from the outside of the unit and post it up, and if it gets to the point where there's a bidding war between bidders, I mean, then it raises it up for a unit that might not be worth that much, because I have seen it on, you know, private sellers who sell consoles, and they sell it for a price. Well, there's a bidding war between the bidders, and it goes up to a price that I would never, you know, purchase a unit from.
No, 100%.
There's not much we can do against that.
No, we only...
You know, if the facility gains more than what the tenant paid them, then that's a win-win for them there, you know. So regardless, I mean, there's no issue here. It's a legitimate auction. People are bidding on it, and I mean, at some point, as a bidder, for example, if I was bidding, because I don't really bid, but if I was bidding on a unit, I mean, I'd look at the unit, see what's in it, I'd call about it, and if I wouldn't raise too much money, but if someone really wants it, I mean, you'd be surprised what people would pay for something they really want.
Oh, I mean, I know. But the problem is, we only bid on lien units. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't mess with the whole manager special private seller stuff. But the issue is the facility is not keeping the money. They're sending it back. So it's like, you guys, Storage Treasures, and with us, for example, as Extra Space right now, are kind of, in my eyes, being used as this middle ground to facilitate these scams. Because in the unit we just bought, it went off for like $3,600, and after all the fees or something, it was like $4,200. But in the back, there's a box, completely empty box for a $13,000 statue, retaped and everything, empty. There's TV boxes that are empty, retaped, sealed, and everything that are empty. But it's so like, you know, it's not
a lien auction. So yeah. There's not much we can do for those, because they take the pictures outside. They can't go in those units. They can't touch any of those units because there's a lien on them.
Ironic statement. Here's a picture of a post I took of a unit in 2019 that was listed on Storage Treasures as a lien unit where somebody has obviously been inside. Weird, huh?
They just take the pictures, they post it. I mean, you could always ask the facility, but at the end of the day, it's really a risky thing when it comes to lien auctions, because whatever the tenant left behind, whether it be empty boxes, the facility, you or me, won't know, because nobody can go in those units. They just auction them off, and it's a risk you take. But there's no issue there. It being that it's a lien. If it's a non-lien manager special or private seller, we have rules against that, because they have control over those units. We let them know they can't sell trash, they can't sell empty boxes, they can't sell anything of the sort. But when it comes to lien auctions, I mean, it's whatever's in there. If you want it, you can take it, but it's at your own risk, because it's whatever the the tenant left behind. It's one of those things where if you can look at it from the from the front, but you won't know what's in the back, and that's a gamble you're taking by bidding on there. There's no problem with that.
But let me ask you a question, the same question I asked Extra Space. In this case, what's legally, I guess, in your policy or anyone's policy stopping me from going to, say, my nearest storage facility, renting 10 storage units, and then going to a GameStop dumpster and filling them up with console boxes, and defaulting on purpose and making, each one sells for $2,000-$3,000, and there's nothing in it, and they get all those checks, like each one sells for $2,000 over.
What they're posting it as.
Yeah, but
here's the thing: if you know, if they're posting it as a non-lien manager special, they can't do it. If they're posting it as a lien auction and trying to, cover it up, that's something that could be. I mean, it could be raised to our attention. We can let them know not to do that, and we want to continue doing business with them. But it really just depends on what they're posting. Posting it as, right?
Yeah, but if it's technically, I guess, by definition, they stop paying, so it's lien, but it's not like they're stopped paying because they're moving or they can't afford it. They're just stopped paying so that it goes lien. That's the issue. Not that, they're actually losing it or they can't afford it or whatever happens, like with 90% of them. It's that 10% that they're purposely defaulting on so that it can be labeled as a lien unit, when in reality, they're just it's pretty much a manager special. You know what I mean? It's pretty much just we're letting this go and selling it, but I'm defaulting on it first because then it's a lien unit and then I can pretty much do whatever I want. And everyone's gonna say it's at their risk. It's like a perfect scam, really. Because legally, it seems like so far with everybody I've talked to, it's like there's no way to get around it. There's nothing stopping people from, like I said, renting 20 units, defaulting on all of them, and collecting 20 checks when they sell for a lot.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know if that's the case. It's an assumption at this point. There's no way to prove what you're saying. There's no way to prove that there was 20 tenants and they all work for the facility supposedly, and then they all defaulted on them, and then it gets posted off as as a lien unit. It's really hard to tell, and we're not gonna investigate that deeply in it because these units that are going off for auction, it's not it's only the facilities and whatever it is they're posting. They can win big, they can lose big. Honestly, and if it comes down to it that we're finding that out, they could legally get in trouble for that because that's in some way related to shill bidding. I don't know if you know what shill bidding is, but people who know each other, they bid on a unit, they try to up the price.
Oh yeah,
so
I think that happens too.
If they're doing something like that and it gets caught, I mean, we have to have evidence for that, right? Because it's not the tenants that come in, they rent out a unit, whatever they put inside, and they don't continue paying for it. That's when the lien gets placed on it. But for someone to just come in, like for multiple people to come in who are working for the facility and decide, okay, we're just gonna leave these units alone so then we can auction it off. I mean, in some way, it's also on the bidder's end because you have to realize what you're bidding on. If you have any uncertainty about it, if you're not too sure, because whatever the facility, they put a description of the auction, of what's inside the unit. They put a detailed description in it. You can even call them and ask. So at some point, it's really on the bidder's end because they're taking a gamble on it. Whatever the facility may be doing or may not be doing, I mean, there has to be concrete evidence before we make such that's an exaggerated assumption. Of multiple people just leaving units for them to be defaulted on an auction off. I mean, it's honestly a ridiculous idea. I'm not saying it can't be possible, but at the same time, there's no concrete evidence of that. I mean, honestly, it'd be a waste of time for them to do something like that because they're not. Nobody's tricking anybody because it shows on the auction details what's in there, what could be in there, and it's honestly a gamble if you want to take a risk on it. But unfortunately, most people just go on our website, they just see something they like and they bid on it. They don't even bother to investigate. So it's on the bidder's end as well, not just the facility. I mean, the facility just takes pictures of it and just posts it out.
Okay, like I feel like you're not like getting this scam I'm saying. Because yes, I get that it's on a bid. Like if I buy a unit because there's a refrigerator in there, it's worth $1,000. I get in there, it's broken. That's what I get. That's my risk I'm taking. I 100% understand that, and I agree with you. My problem is not that nobody at the facility, in my eyes, I don't know if I'm right here. I don't think nobody at the facility is involved with this. I think that just people that are renting the unit, like I said, and staging it with box. We found 63 empty boxes, all with the pictures, well, what's in there, in the description in there, facing the door where they take the pictures from. 63 empty boxes, and like nobody can convince me somebody not only saved them, but retaped them so the opening is covered and you can't see anything from the door. It's just, nobody's paying $100 and some a month to store 63 empty boxes that are retaped and facing the door. I know for a fact, because I talked to the manager yesterday, that they're getting that difference back. And that's why they're doing it, because we talk to the managers and they say the same crap. It's up to, you know, the bidders, it's your risk. But that's like stupid. It's like saying if I go to a table and play blackjack and I lose, that's my risk. But if I go to the table and play and the dealer has a 21 on his lap under the table, that's not a risk I take. That's just called cheating. Like that's pretty much what I see it as. If I lose fairly, I lose fairly. I've lost fairly plenty of times.
Well, without concrete evidence, this is just an assumption. I can't prove this is a scam, so I'm not gonna call it a scam. So there's not much we can do unless we have some kind of concrete evidence, either provided by you or by somebody else. But you know, it's just an assumption at this point. If someone is renting a unit just to store boxes, I mean, people even leave the ashes of their loved ones inside.
I found them a lot, yeah.
So I mean, what's to say they're not going to leave boxes in there? I mean, it's ridiculous what we see, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's without any concrete evidence of something, we can't say that this is what it is. You can't just just say this is a scam. There's no evidence that it is a scam. So it's just an idea and an assumption at that point, okay?
Before I finish this call, and trust me, it gets even worse than that. I just want to address something. He loves the term concrete evidence, right? I want to ask you something that are watching this video right now. If we 100%, say I watched the guy stage the unit and say, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna get all the money for this. Say I watched that, right? And then this happened. What possible concrete evidence could I possibly give you to show that that's the case? Please just give me one example of possible evidence I can give you. To me, all the boxes facing the front, the boxes being retaped, the information on the boxes being visible from the outside, them being set up in a way where some are on this wall, so those are readable, some are in the back, those are readable, some are up here, so that's readable. That's not concrete evidence enough. Imagine if we applied this logic to any other crime in the world. Imagine there's a shooting outside, somebody gets shot in the gas station, right? Say that happens, and the guy was like, well, I can't prove that he meant to shoot him. It was an accident. Maybe he was just withdrawing his firearm to look at it, and he just happened to trip, and he happened to look at that, and it just happened. There's no concrete evidence that he meant to do it. That sounds stupid, right? So does this to anybody that's listening and paying attention. And if you think it's bad so far, listen to the rest of this conversation. Yeah, but what about on the other side? What's the evidence that says it's an actual lien cheat? Like, I just feel like everything, extra space, and you guys have told us goes both ways. To me,
so you have the paperwork of all those things. They have the paperwork. They have, I mean, whatever the lien laws are, and depending on the states, I mean, everything's going to be documented. So it's honestly a ridiculous thing for them to start doing something that they could leave back to them, because there's always a paper trail to everything. All right.
Yeah, I got that, but I don't think they're involved in it. I said I don't think the facility's doing anything.
I'm not sure who is involved in it. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a detective, and this is not something that I'm going to look into. I mean, unless you want to look into it and you want to investigate, if you really feel that strongly about it, go ahead and look into it. Send us paperwork about what you have that's concrete evidence, and we can take it up with whoever we need to take it up with. Till then, there's not much I can do on my end. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just asking. You don't think 60 some boxes facing the door is evidence?
I'm not gonna think about this. This is not what I need to do. Do you need help with like the website or anything else?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like I said, you guys are just letting this crap happen. It's ridiculous.
What do you want me to do? Because I'm not an investigator. I'm a customer service agent for Storage Treasures.
What I want you to do is let me talk to somebody let me talk to somebody else in this company that can do something about this. Because like I said, at this point, you're just letting it happen. Like over and over again, and just saying, oh, it's your risk, oh, it's your risk, oh, it's your risk.
How can anybody do anything about it if there's no concrete evidence of what you're saying? You don't have anything but an assumption. You're saying, I think there may be a scam here. That's not enough for us to start looking into it. We need some kind of concrete evidence.
And you're just saying, I think there's not.
Any investigator, all right, well, prove to me that it is. have an email, we have a chat. You can send us all the evidence through there. Okay?
You know as well as I do, no one's gonna respond. I've messaged you guys before in the past. I never get responses.
All right, cool. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Yeah, you can let me talk to somebody else.
I'll add you on the escalation sheet so supervisor can contact you, okay?
Sure, sounds great. Well, how long does that take usually?
Depending on how busy they are, it can take up to 48 hours or more, okay?
All right, we'll see.
Thank you for contacting searchers. Have a good day.
Yeah. I have never been so annoyed with somebody in my life. I try so hard to be PG on YouTube, but it's the same thing. Like, there's no way. It's impossible to look at that unit with 61 boxes, taped shut, facing the door, and saying, well, I have no evidence. The only way to look at that and potentially think that's not a scam is to be at the intellectual level of that doorknob behind me. Anybody capable of thought at even a first grade level, kindergarten level, will look at that and say, it's obviously set up. Like, I just don't believe there's no other side of this. It's either you have common sense or you're that doorknob behind me right there. And it seems like everybody I talk to is right there on the side of the door. It really does. Since everybody seems to be no help whatsoever, I think we're gonna contact the Better Business Bureau and try to explain it to them. The problem is people that don't do this or watch this, trying to explain this whole process is extremely complicated. It really, really is. As an outsider looking in, I can see how that is. We're gonna contact the Better Business Bureau and we're gonna see if we can explain this to it, and hopefully they tell us, you know, what's going on. I don't know, I've never contacted them before, it's the first time.
Thank you for calling the Better Business Bureau. Please stay on the line for English. O apoye sur un pour de français. O presione dos para español.
Hello, and thank you for calling the Better Business Bureau serving Central Virginia.
Hello, Marquana Williams is unavailable. Please leave a message.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi, I'm looking to see if you guys are the people I should be getting in contact with. So I'm pretty sure that there's a very elaborate scam going on, and I just need to know who I could talk to. I've tried talking to the company, I've tried talking to the company they use, and we've even tried talking to the local police department, and everybody seems confused. So I really just want to be able to talk to somebody that I can explain what's going on to, and you know, I guess get some information on where to go forward with this. So give me a call back as soon as you can. Thank you. Well, no answer. That was helpful, wasn't it? Not at all. At this point, I feel like I've done pretty much all I can do. Now we're just unfortunately gonna have to wait for somebody to contact us back. Now I've been debating about this, so I wanna hear you guys' opinions down in the comments below. Should we personally try to contact the former owner of this storage unit and get in contact with the guy? Because even though I don't think it's the case, there's always that very slight possibility that somebody else is using his boxes, but I mean, the pictures and the paperwork were also his, so it's unlikely, but it's also possible that unit could have been a mess and the facility could have staged it. I mean, I'm 90-some% confident in my initial, you know, predicament, but to be realistic, there are those slight possibilities. So let me know what you guys think. That's the only thing I can think of to do other than waiting for them to contact us back. And then when we hear something again, we'll let you know in another update video. Hopefully next time we see you, it'll be at another storage unit, a real storage unit that's not a scam. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, peace out.